Hello and welcome back to the Academy of the Magical Art. I recently did a video on the magnum opus, or the great work of self-transformation. Later that evening I was in meditation and something occurred to me that I did not touch on in the previous video. In 2002 a movie was released called Catch Me If You Can, and in that movie there is a quote. One of the characters, his name is Frank, was giving a speech and said, "Two little mice fell into a bucket of cream. The first mouse quickly gave up and drowned. The second mouse would not quit. He struggled and struggled so hard that eventually, as the cream got thicker, it turned to butter. And when it turned to butter, he was able to crawl out. Gentlemen, as of this moment, I am that second mouse." End quote. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Oftentimes, we are taught exactly the opposite of that we are human beings searching for a spiritual experience. When we, as spiritual beings, begin to come into touch with our true nature, we begin to ascend and purify ourselves. As we move through this process, oftentimes there will be times of difficulty where it will feel that the metaphorical cream that we are swimming in is becoming very thick. Our muscles become tired. It is hard to work through this process. This is often occurring when we are getting ready to go forth into another level of our ascension, grow a little bit more. It's going to get a little bit harder to make sure that we really want that and we're really willing to work for it. Most people are not. So I want to ask, which mouse will you be? When this process becomes hard and you are forced to analyze yourself and look into some of the deepest, darkest depths of your soul to shed light on situations and purify them, which requires looking at every aspect of the situation, are you going to say, "This is too hard, I don't want to do this," or "I'm almost done with this step of my ascension, I need to keep on going, I need to push a little bit harder so that I can grow this a little bit more"? Very, very important concept to consider, because as spiritual beings, if we stop swimming, if we stop pushing ourselves to that next step, oftentimes we begin to sink. And as we begin to sink, we begin to feel as if we are drowning. And our life begins to fall into chaos because we are falling out of touch with our true nature. When we are in the dark, oftentimes we are not aware that we are in the dark. But once you shed light upon that darkness, it is detrimental to not return to that state because you know the truth. And once you know, it is impossible to unknow. So I want to encourage you in this very short little video to be that second mouse as you are going through this process of self-transformation, as you are looking at the deepest, darkest depths of your souls, as things start to get hard and the universe starts to test you and try you and make sure that you are really wanting what you are saying you are wanting, which is divine union with spirit, to become that ascended person, to become that ascended spirit. Are you willing to work for it? Are you willing to swim those extra couple of minutes, even though that milk is extremely thick? Because pretty soon it will turn to butter and you will be able to crawl out. I just wanted to quickly give you something to think about as you go through your day, as you are going through this process of self-transformation and trying to ascend to the next step of your evolution. Please carry this with you as a word of encouragement to be that second mouse, to keep on pushing forward. Thank you for joining with me today at the Academy of the Magical Art. Until next time, blessed be.